Hello everyone, and welcome back to Very Cold Lasagna, your filthy casual place for all the filthy casual takes on the world of sports. I'm DylanLasagna, and welcome back to another weekly edition of the 2022 NFL season recaps. And I just want to first off by saying, I want to send my love, my prayers, and hope for Bill's safety, Damar Hamlin, because it's just a scary situation all around regards to what happened to him on Monday night in Cincinnati. In case you haven't heard already, that he was making a tackle on T. Higgins. He got up, and then he collapsed on the ground. From what was told already, he had a cardiac arrest, and then the medical team checked on him, and then they brought out the ambulance. They were performing CPR on him for almost 10 minutes, and that's when they sent him to the hospital. But you could just tell by the player reactions, the coach reactions, this was scary. This is very scary. What they're seeing, they almost thought he was gonna, I don't even want to say it. So I just really hope and pray that Damar Hamlin really finds a way to he finds a way to find that second light. Send your prayers, send some love, send some hope to his family and his friends during this crazy, difficult time, and just hope that he's able to find a way to make that light again. So it's just a very tough situation for everyone right now. So as we transition over to the Week 17 game slate, and the week that was, there was some impact on the playoff seeding, but man, a lot of it was overshadowed by the Damar Hamlin thing. So this week is going to be a little bit different because it's just hard to really talk about football at the moment. So let's quickly run through it, shall we? So talking about the Thursday night game between the Dallas Cowboys and the Tennessee Titans, it's an inconsistency in turnovers from Dak Prescott and the offense kept Josh Dobbs and the Titans offense around for most of the game. But a pair of Dalton Schultz touchdowns and the defense finally getting to Dobbs allowed the Cowboys to seal the game 27-13. And they're all of a sudden in the running for that NFC East title. More on that later. Then we get to the New Year's Day, Sunday slate of games. The early morning portion first. The Atlanta Falcons took on the Arizona Cardinals in a battle of the kickers in the second half between Cardinals kicker Matt Prater and Younghoe Koo, the Falcons kicker. In the end, it was Koo that would outkick Prater as he would win it at the buzzer for Atlanta 20-19. After letting Justin Fields go on the run in the first quarter, the Lions completely bear down on him the rest of the way as Detroit would score 34 unanswered points to hammer Chicago 41-10. The Jaguars spread the all-eliteness in the first quarter, highlighted by a big touchdown run by Travis Etienne and a defensive scoop and score as Jacksonville took care of its business 31-3 on the Texans ahead of a big matchup against Tennessee in Week 18 for the AFC South. Despite some flashes of good in their first game after Nathaniel Hackett got fired, Russell Wilson and the Broncos let the Chiefs have their way in the fourth quarter as Mahomes and company capitalized on their mistakes and escaped a late rally from Denver 27-24. Kylo Duggars of New England, he had a pick six, and Teddy Bridgewater suffered a dislocated finger, and that opened the door for the Patriots to pull away from this game, but not before they had to hold off a rally from their third stringer for Miami, Skylar Thompson, as New England held on 23-21. The Giants put on their most complete performance of the season, bullying Jeff Saturday's Colts on all sides of the ball, led by an efficient game by Daniel Jones, as the G-Men clinched their first playoff berth since 2016 by dominating Indianapolis 38-10. Keep in mind, this is the Indianapolis Colts, by the way. If this was the Dallas Cowboys, the Eagles, the 49ers, yeah, I would give them a little bit more credit as complete. But this is Jeff Saturday's Colts, so I'm not too taken aback by it. The Saints took full advantage of the Eagles' injuries as their defense bullied Gardner Minshew, their backup, for 7 sacks, and Marshawn Lattimore, the Saints' returning corner, capped off the upset with a pick 6 as New Orleans stunned Philadelphia 20-10, and all of a sudden, the Eagles' positioning as the number 1 seed is in real danger. So they really need Jalen Hurts back in Week 18. Otherwise, look out. Someone else, red and gold, might be taking that number 1 spot. Another rally for Tom Brady and the Bucs as they stormed back from 11 down in the fourth quarter against Carolina, as Brady and Mike Evans had a field day on literally the same touchdown 3 times to help the Bucs seal the NFC South against Carolina 30-24 and finally eliminate them from playoff contention. Ron Rivera's decision to go back to Carson Wentz immediately backfired and cost them big time, as Wentz threw 3 interceptions and stagnated the whole offense, while Deshaun Watson's 3 touchdown game gave the Browns some hope for next season, as the skid marks eliminated the Commanders from playoff contention 24-10. Going to the late afternoon portion of games, Jared Stidham surprised a hungover 49ers defense. Yes, they had New Year's Day hangover. And Stidham actually made the Raiders offense much better. I know it's one game, but he actually made it much better than it did with Derek Carr. But Brock Purdy and the 49ers answered the call each time Stidham scored on them, as this game unexpectedly went an extra period. And in that extra period, Nick Bosa saved the day for the 49ers defense, who had a very bad day, as he got some extra pressure on Stidham, which led to an interception by Deshaun Gibson and allowed the 49ers to seal the deal on a wild win with a goal line field goal, 37-34 in overtime. Mike White's return was not enough to rejuvenate the Jets, as the Seahawks baited him often into sacks, checkdowns, and interceptions, as the offense did their damage for Seattle in the first half to eliminate the Jets from playoff contention 23-6. The Green Bay Packers, man, somehow, some way, they're finding a way to play spoiler and at the same time making their way to the last spot in the NFC playoff picture, as they completely rammed the Vikings up the butt, forcing turnovers on Kirk Cousins and Aaron Rodgers, torching the Vikings' putrid defense in the air all day long, as Green Bay dominated this game from start to finish 41-17, and they're one step closer to the last NFC playoff spot. They win next week, and they're in. The Battle of LA, or at least the battle of who had more fans, saw Justin Herbert and the Chargers easily dominate the reigning and defending undisputed Super Bowl champions of last year, who now own the distinction of, well, the worst Super Bowl champions of all time, surpassing the 1999 5-11 Denver Broncos. And the Chargers, on the other hand, continue to heat up ahead of the playoffs with the win over the Rams, their rival, their LA rivals, 31-10. Then in the Sunday Night Football game, Week 17, in this AFC North rivalry, well, just like last week against the Raiders, Kenny Pickett led another game-winning drive as he threw 2 big passes to Deontay Johnson and Najee Harris, who caught the go-ahead touchdown pass from Pickett with 50 seconds left, as the defense stopped Tyler Huntley and the Ravens dead in their tracks to keep their suddenly slim playoff hopes alive, 16-13 in a victory over Baltimore. So that was your game slate of Week 17, and man, it's just really rough. It's just been before the situation with Hamlin. I gotta say, the playoff picture is really, really coming to a fold. It's really narrowing down, but all that really takes a backseat right now with Hamlin. And I just gotta say, like I said before, to start off this recap, I really hope that in the end there will be something positive. I hope he will be alive and healthy once again, coming out of this. So that was your recap for week 17. No winners and losers this week, just out of respect. So that's it for this weekly recap of the 2022 NFL season. Let me know your thoughts on the games this week. Send all your love, send all your prayers. I'll also leave a link to Hamlin's toy drive in the description below. And if you want to donate, definitely do so. And keep that lasagna very cold in the fridge. Your takes on the world of sports. And until next time, peace out.